Students from Meredith College traveled to the country of Belize, Central America over the summer to leave skills behind for the teachers and students at the Santa Elena Baptist Primary School in the small town of Santa Elena, which is located inland near Guatemala. Trade winds would blow through the open-air school, making the heat bearable. Goats would travel single file across the schoolyard, and a small store run by a church helped keep the students fed during recess. These students come from neighboring homes. Many walk to school or ride a bike in this pastoral setting of tropical vegetation and dirt roads.
I think the best part about Belize was that we invested our time into the school all week instead of just jumping around to different places. And I think that was really great because instead of just going and hanging out with these kids for a day and then leaving and going somewhere else, we really got to make relationships with this one school.
The Meredith students and other adults led several days of fun and learning. Classes were taught in art, science, English, reading, and students were also provided tutoring. The children from Santa Elena were eager to engage in new activities, including the private eye magnifying glasses science lesson and the Great Child Self-Esteem Building Creative Art Project.
Just seeing what the kids do with the resources they have is insane, and just seeing how they drew and what they wrote.
I mean, at Meredith I learned to be a teacher, and I've gotten to do some different small group lessons in those classrooms, but I've never gotten to actually take over the class. I mean, the teacher just left and she was like, "You guys can do this."
It was cool to watch her in her environment that she's really familiar with and kind of learn from her. The lesson that I ended up teaching was a science lesson, and so it was cool to hear them really understand it and know that our teaching style was effective.
I definitely did feel like I was making a difference. I've gotten to teach students in America, but I've never gotten to teach any students in another international classroom.
The trip was open to Meredith alumni and parents. Some parents came along on the trip to help teach classes. Lacey taught a class using art to discover each child's unique qualities, along with her mom.
It was actually pretty normal, I think, because we have done so many things with Girl Scouts teaching kids. It was really cool to be able to work together and see kind of what my mom was really passionate about, and I know that she put a lot of work into it, and so I was really glad to be able to help her out and with her, and I know she's never done anything like this before, so it was cool to see her really make a difference in these kids' lives. Even if she didn't think she was making a difference, I could really tell that she was. So.
One of Meredith's projects was to partner with a nonprofit group, One Library at a Time, that creates libraries in the developing world. Utilizing one of the rooms at the school, the Meredith team hired local woodworkers to build shelves and tables, and our team members painted, cleaned, and prepared the room for the grand opening later in the week. Meredith's donated books were marked with the Dewey Decimal System, a card catalog was created, and several teachers were taught librarian skills. During recess, students would stop by and begin reading. Eventually, the library will be filled with 800 donated books.
And you would turn around and see them looking at the books and flipping through pages or taking one to a corner or trying to take them to the desk to start reading them, because these are books that they had never seen before. More color and pictures and more adventures that they can go on.
Just seeing how cooperative and kind they were, and especially after we presented the library, when one of the teachers stood up and said, "These are my children and this is my school," like the pride that they had in their school and the pride that they had in their education, it was very moving to me and very inspiring, and I felt proud of them. And
I could just tell that they really appreciated the library, and the teachers all started crying and they were really appreciative of it. And
the love and compassion for this school was obvious in the way they were treated and the emotions that poured out when it was time to say goodbye.
I was just kind of expecting to come and do some service work, and I figured I would love all the kids, but I didn't think I would get so connected. To be completely honest, I feel like they made more of a difference for me because I'm so proud of all the work we did there, and I feel like we did an amazing job as a group together. This was like a once-in-a-lifetime chance for me, and I feel like I learned so much from the kids there, and I'm like so grateful to them and everything they've taught me. It was just amazing to see. Like on the last day, I was just on the top floor looking out at everything, and I just started tearing up. I don't think I've ever smiled so much in my life.
You plan, you train, and you pack. You hope to fulfill your purpose, but you leave with more than you brought, a fuller heart and new eyes.